Well, hello there, Commonwealth. This is Great Grandpa Gamer. Today, we're going to hang a really scrappy construction off the Starlight Drive-In Theater. We'll talk more about that in a moment. First, I got a tip for you. You ever want to take photographs from the exact location every single time? Get your screenshots in? Place a fast travel mat at the vantage point that you want to use. Fast travel to it. Take your screenshot. Matter of fact, keep doing the fast travel trick. Take your screenshots. You can show your progress in a time-elapsed way. Right here, I'm just showing my working setup. At this point in the build, I took down more than I put up. But eventually we had a good start. We started adding everything in. It worked out. So there's a little trick for you. Hope you find it useful. But let's get on with our scrappy build. Now friends, during this part of the build, I very carefully made sure that all my floors were hugging the projector house. I tried all kinds of things. What I did not account for was where I was going to put that elevator. And I ended up taking everything down. So we're going to start from a certain point. Yep, everything has to go. And I want the elevator to be above that whatever metal thing is. The only thing left I had in this entire build is that one pillar because it's in the right place. It's just too high. So I saved one piece, the pillar, lower it straight down, and all that careful measuring, at least I saved. We get to use it. And the build went a lot faster from here. So that's our starting point. Place the elevator right back. Now we're going to use scaffold pieces, we're going to use barn pieces, we're going to use warehouse pieces, we're going to use concrete pieces, we're going to use wooden shack pieces, we're going to use metal shack pieces. We're going to combine it all into this one scrappy build. And building this thing is kind of like somebody who steps back and said, well, what do I do here? It was an experimentation. It was a lot of fun, but at times got pretty frustrating. Sometimes I can get pieces to snap in the right place. Sometimes I couldn't. So we used a build order to help us. I already noticed how that floor hugs the building. It stayed that way when I lowered that one pillar. See, that one didn't want to snap. So I could snap on the back side of the elevator and go around the block. There it is. So that elevator is the right height for me to be able to disguise it. Well, those metal pieces, whatever they are, they did not want anything to clip through them, that's for sure. We know that the elevator is the height of a warehouse wall, but these extended shack walls are too short. So I placed a flat wall, snapped a flat wall in place, then snapped gun racks to it. I carried the gun racks up to the top, then removed the flat wall. Those gun racks are going to give me snapping points to close the gap between the warehouse, to close the gap between the warehouse height and the shack height. All I have to do is leave them up there. Replace those shack pieces. And you know, we can close that gap just by adding the gun racks to it. Here's a little bit of concrete. We'll build ourselves a strong stairwell going up to the elevator. By the way, those settlers don't use the elevator. Even though the elevator gives me access, well, I still have to account for settlers. In fact, I have to account for construction. If I build something downstairs, I can't ride up the elevator with it. Even that right there is a build. The little rail with the plant. I have to have stairs to get up here. So that's part of the construction. Planning for the stairs. All right, we want to snap a wall to the other side of the elevator. This barn wall, floor, we're using build order. There's our wall. Now we can remove the construction pieces. At least put them back where they belong. And yes, I'm using a few pieces from the Settlement Security CC. Using the build order to help us pull some pieces into going where they wouldn't normally go. Get rid of them. I really wanted that projector house to show through. So if you're on the interior of the build, you're going to see that projector house. It's one of the walls. I also wanted as much as possible exposed from the outside view. And that's why I'm using a lot of glass. I'm using a lot of, well, see-through pieces. So there's a narrow spot. I couldn't put a wall. It's just barely wide enough for scaffold stairs. So we had to use an upper shack floor to snap some scaffolds to it. Then we could snap the staircase I'm looking for to the scaffold. Very good, and after that's done, I can remove the scaffold if I want to. In this case, yeah, I want to. All these pieces just to sneak a staircase in. It's worth it. It opens the door if we know what kind of tricks will help us. There's another wall that's not tall enough. But it's a flat shack wall, so we'll be able to use a gun rack to close the distance. Concrete floors, shack floors. Get a measurement on the gun rack. Got a few pieces on up. These gun racks are pretty forgiving. They allow us to do a whole bunch of things. All right, snapping a scaffold once again. Oops, that makes two. Ball tracks. Oh, I didn't mention ball tracks. We're going to use ball tracks to support these overhanging ledges. There it is. 3. All right, broken legs aside, the build's going pretty good. Every now and then, the location you want for a certain thing just doesn't work. So I placed a pillar there. It's going out through the top, but I took advantage of it to hang the ball track supports off the sides. Made it look like it was architecturally necessary. And a pillar can look like it's holding up several ball tracks. So lots of angle supports here. I think it helped out. I like using those curved pieces to fill in the blanks. Maybe I like them too much. Everything I build seems to have those ball track curves on them. Oh! This time I'm not going to mind that the ceilings are different heights, but I will place a pillar right through the middle of it. It'll look like the two pieces are independently supported, or jointly supported, I guess. So all these different heights, kind of solving that problem as we go along. Is making for a really scrappy construction. Made ourselves a beefier support that we could place in the corner. Architecturally, that looks kind of cool. And we can get away with just a few curves. Oh boy, you know, tricking scaffolds to snap. It must be my favorite pastime because I had to do it so much. Yes, here's a stairway the settlers are going to use, and I'm going to use to haul stuff up and down. All of that to create a snapping point I could use. Once I got one, the rest of the scaffold's easy. Look at that construction. That looks about as junky as you could possibly get. Pieces scavenged from all over the Commonwealth. And there it is, friends. Our construction, it's ready for decoration. And we're gonna go crazy. I want you all to have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now.